All right. Welcome to
Objectively.
Because objectively speaking, we are the flagship YouTube channel of all of the internet.
Are you gonna acknowledge our new setup?
New setup. We're on a couch. It's acknowledged.
Who painted that?
I don't know. It appeared there one day. Anyway,
I painted it.
We got a lot to cover. This just in, breaking news. This week, there was a little. I don't know. I was thinking maybe not talking about politics on this channel for a while, but whatever. Fuck it. There was an assassination to a guy. His name was Charlie Kirk. It's a couple days ago now. So he's dead. Everyone's a little shook up, or I guess they are. I don't know. But I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about it because it brings up some other things that I've been thinking about and researching about lately about the geopolitical state of the world currently in the year 2025. So my opinion on the whole Charlie Kirk situation is I never really liked Charlie Kirk. I'm sure many people who share political views with me probably would share that opinion. But I think in general, murder is kind of bad. You shouldn't go around murdering people. That's my general consensus. Not to get too controversial about murder.
That's brave.
But,
that's a brave statement.
Don't murder people. But, he's already dead. You can't bring him back to life, as far as I know. So, as far as I know, that's,
we're an anti-murder podcast.
It's not the worst guy to die in the world that I would have picked.
There could be worse.
It could be a little worse. But I also think that this isn't really, his death doesn't really do a lot for the Liberal Party. I actually think it's, I think it's probably a detriment to the Liberal Party that he's dead now, and the way he died, especially.
He became a martyr.
He became a martyr. That means there's gonna be a lot more Charlie Kirks now. Thank God. Gonna be popping up in the next, who knows, decade or months or who knows. There's gonna be people who are gonna be like, this guy died for these beliefs, and that means something, and they're gonna be influenced by that now, which is fun.
Could there be a worse Charlie Kirk?
Oh yeah, always good. I think there was some guy named Hitler or something like that. I don't know, but
Nick Fuentes.
Sure. I don't know. That's another name. But I also think on top of him being a martyr for the Conservative Party, also he was a very unique person. As much as he was shitty, I just want to ask, where did Charlie Kirk come from?
I don't know.
You don't know, right? Do you know what his job title was?
He was a political, he's a talking head. He's a streamer.
He was basically a content creator is what he was. He's a political influencer. He made YouTube videos expressing his opinion, and he went to college campuses, set up cameras and tables and microphones, and let people walk up and gave a brief little debate, and then filmed it all and uploaded the clips on YouTube where he looked smart. That's basically what he did. He wasn't a politician. He didn't push any bills or influence much beyond the general ideas that the Conservative Party already believed in.
Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting that he died, that someone assassinated him, instead of someone, like a conservative politician, which you'd think would be a little more likely. Someone that's actually actively making changes to, the laws in this country or doing stuff that can create, at least from an opposite party's perspective, harm to the country,
right,
or people in it. You'd think someone like that would be more likely to assassinate, but no. It was Charlie Kirk, who was an influencer, really, an online personality, a celebrity. And I think that on top of him just not being a nice guy, he kind of helped the Liberal Party a little bit because he gave them a voice. Because he would go to these college campuses, mostly liberal colleges, and he would set up microphones for these liberal kids to walk up and express their opinions, on his platform. Mm-hmm. And he may have, he may have manipulated videos sometimes and, edited out clips or portions of the video where he didn't look as smart, and then upload the ones online where he did look smart. But, these events where he would show up were very popular and very publicized, so there would usually be large crowds of people every time. As you saw with the video, when he got assassinated, it was an enormous a crowd of people. Yeah. So, anyone can pull out their phone and start filming. And there's plenty of clips online that I've seen, and I know other people have seen, where, someone walks up and debates Charlie, and they have really good points, and he doesn't really have any good rebuttal, so he just starts, interrupting them and insulting them, and resulting to childish, things to try and obfuscate away from their points. And that made him look dumb. And so seeing those videos online getting shared around and going viral really helped a lot of. It helped liberals, and it helped other people who maybe it might have influenced some people to vote more liberal. Who knows? But I think definitely now that he's gone, that's not happening anymore. He was very unique in the way he did that, just going to college campuses and just setting up stuff and just being like, all right, let's talk about it and film it all and upload it all. And, that's so that's not happening anymore, and I think that's really interesting. Because it's I'd say for the most part, liberals, from what I've seen online, a lot of people are a little happy, a little excited that he's gone, especially the way he died. It was very ironic. And that's I think is I think that's
I think that was intentional.
It might have been intentional, but I think it's impossible to deny that was the most ironic death he could have ever had. If you're conservative and you think this is abhorrent and this is a tragedy, or if you're liberal and you think it's great, no matter what, you have to agree, this is the most ironic death a man like Charlie Kirk could have ever had. His dying breath, he was talking about gun rights and gang violence.
I think
that is the most ironic fucking death a man like that could ever have.
I think the killer did that on purpose.
He might have, he's probably watching the whole time, waiting for him to.
I think he waited to talk about gun violence, and then pulled the trigger.
And yeah, it was just so ironic. But it's like a lot of liberals are happy. Not all liberals. Some liberals are, definitely condemning this act of violence, as they should, and recognizing that it's a horrible, this was a father, he had a family, he had a wife, he had children, so you don't want people like that you don't really want anyone to die. That's what I want, and that's what I believe. But he did believe things and advocated for things in the world that were I don't want to get too much. I want to save some things for later. But he did. He George Floyd. He was very vocal about how the fact that he thinks George Floyd died of fentanyl overdose.
Didn't he reenact it?
Did he?
I think, or it was him or some other conservative. They reenacted the knee on the neck and were like, "See, I can breathe. He should have been able to breathe." And I think it was him.
He should reenact it on fentanyl. That's like.
Reenact it now.
It's like we should reenact his assassination.
See, really kill him.
It's like he was I think he was pro-Israel. He's like, he supports Trump, obviously.
He was a Christian nationalist.
He's a Christian nationalist. He supports Trump. Anyone who supports Trump supports a pedophile who, is buddies with Epstein. And, that's like probably the worst thing you could ever be guilty of. So, him dying, I think that's the reason, an explanation for why most liberals are happy that he's dead, because anybody who supports stuff like this supports, just think about it from a conservative perspective. These people love this guy and they think he represents everything they believe in, and then he gets assassinated and they're like, oh my God, this is horrible, right? This is what the liberals think every day when conservatives support things like genocide and pedophiles and tyrants and dictators around the world. It's like, oh my God, this is horrible. All this stuff is happening, and it could be prevented, and these people are supporting it. I'm not necessarily saying that these people are correct. I'm not saying either side is correct or not, but I'm saying, like, if you get into the career of politics, you have to expect some degree of risk. And, so him dying shouldn't be all that surprising, given his controversial beliefs.
Well, he's the one who said the risk is worth the gun rights.
Exactly. So, yeah.
He lived by that, and he died by that.
So, in conclusion, don't go around killing people.
No killing.
That's wrong. I also believe that, this, I've mentioned the ways that it hurts the Liberal Party, his death, but I also think that, this definitely is a bad representation of the Liberal Party. I'm independent. I do not, I don't vote either way, but, I'm saying, like, if I was liberal, this would make me look very bad. It would make me look like a person who's like, yay, assassination, murder is good, kill fathers of children and husbands of wives and stuff. And, any conservative that sees me walking around would be like, that guy would probably go out and shoot me, who I'm a father and a husband and, and conservative and whatever, which is not true. But, conservatives will believe whatever they want to believe that will, that will help support their, goals or whatever. So, yeah. So, what does this mean for the political parties now? Because there have been assassinations before, and I feel like I feel like I call it like the war of the week. Like every week, there's news happening somewhere around the world or in America about trying to push some agenda. I feel like of let's go to World War III, or let's start a civil war in America, and things are bad, but I don't think that is good to start an entire war. And I feel like this is another event that is trying to push some kind of like huge uprising or something like that, or a civil war between the political parties. And I think that that's bad and unproductive. Even though the party that has the most power right now is the party I don't really agree with, it's still not good that we're just having a civil war, and being busy with that instead of dealing with other geopolitical issues that we should be dealing with. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely don't like war. War is bad, and I don't think we're in a position where a war is something that should be considered in any serious way. Do I agree with the party in charge? No, but they are not doing something war-worthy. Are they doing something I like? No, but what they're doing is not worth, getting involved in any kind of a realistic violent conflict. So I think we kind of got to grit our teeth and bear what's going on. We should not be going out and having any sort of form of political violence in any way, because it's just not the time for something even close to something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of an extreme thing to happen. I mean, politics is very extreme. There's no denying that. But it's like, it could have been a politician, which would be a much more not more reasonable, but more understandable target. I feel like him is like, he was just influencing people, mostly young conservative men. Is who his demographic was most popular with, and so yeah, I think it was the wrong target. Not that there shouldn't be a target, but definitely.
You could argue he had more power.
You could definitely argue that influence has a lot of power, especially now these days, especially over the internet. Yeah. So I think also that there are organizations or institutions or countries. Institutions or governments around the world that want to see the U.S. engage in a civil war.
Okay.
So that we can waste our time and resources doing that instead of focusing on other things. And eventually, or what they're hoping is that our defenses will be weakened as a result, and they can come in and have their fun with us, or take over the United States, pretty much. Some examples. Maybe like Russia or Israel or Iran or plenty of others. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that these people are working together, but I'm saying that, and I'm definitely not saying anything.
Israel was the odd one out there. Israel does not want America to be weak.
No?
Israel is America's ally.
Oh, really? That's nice. How are they our ally?
Because we help them fight.
We help them, right?
Fight Iran, and that kind of stuff.
So
Iran
what I
weak,
think is happening here,
they benefit from us.
What I think is happening, is converging interests is what I think is happening here. Which might sound conspiratorial, but I think that's actually the exact opposite of that. Because conspiratorial would mean that these people are working together towards common goals or common interests. But I don't think these people are working together at all. I think they just have converging interests, and those interests are religiously motivated. In pretty much every religion, at least the top religions in the world right now, like Islam and Judaism and Christianity, they all have a common prophecy in all of their religious texts about the end of the world. I grew up religious. I know all about this. This was hammered into my brain when I was a kid all the time. I didn't really think two things about it, but now I'm a little older and have a fresh perspective on the whole deal. It starts to make me think that maybe this has a lot more influence on the way people think than I realize. I'm sure I've told you before, but I'm sure you knew before I even told you about what was it called again? The rapture. You know about the rapture, right?
Yes.
But the full story, at least from my perspective, from what I was told in Christianity, so basically Antichrist is going to come down. He's going to be running things, and that's going to lead towards the end of the world. And after the end of the world happens, Jesus is going to come back for the second coming, is what it's called, and then he's going to fight the Antichrist. They're going to have a little brawl, and then he's going to win, and then the rapture is going to happen. All the Christians are going to skedaddle up to heaven, and then everyone else is going to be left down on earth to suffer and die away until we all eventually go to hell for eternity. And then something about the Antichrist is also technically Satan, so it's going to be like, Satan and his demons are going to be fighting, and all the angels and Jesus are going to be, whatever. point is the end of the world. All these religions believe in the end of the world that's gonna happen because it's prophesied. Doomsday. So what I think is happening here is these converging religious interests of accelerating at an efficient rate the end of the world. And I don't think that I'm not saying like the end of the world is coming or whatever because these religious people said it. I'm saying these people think that we need to engage in World War III is what needs to happen because they want things to get so bad that that the conditions of the world mirror that of the end times, so that it forces Jesus to come back and then accelerate the rapture. That's what I think is going on right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty fucking retarded is what I think that is. As most religious people are, in my opinion, are retarded. So you can shoot me for that belief. I don't give a fuck. Not that guy, but me. So especially Israel, because in the Bible, Israel is the promised land, right? It's the chosen land by God or something like that. It's supposed to be special. In the religious text, it says that in the end of the world, it's at the very end of the end of the world on the before the rapture happens. It is going to be Israel against the entire world. That's what is going to happen, and Jesus is going to be on the Israel side, or whatever they think, Messiah, God, whatever you want to call him. He's going to be on the side of Israel. So, what I think is happening with Israel right now, what they're doing is a genocide, obviously. But I think it's bizarre because, I think they're trying to do a genocide, right? But I feel like if I was Israel, I could think of a lot more efficient ways to perform a genocide on a large population than bombs and missiles.
Okay.
I don't there's biological weapons. There's, you could poison water supplies. You could, I just feel like there's so many, technology has advanced so much that there's so many different ways you could do this and it not be this public thing where the whole world is being like, what the fuck, Israel? Don't do that. We hate you.
Right.
Because that's kind of how I feel the general consensus is today. People don't really like Israel. Do you agree?
I think they aren't painting themselves in a very good light. But I think what they're doing is like you said, it's not really genocide. They're not trying to exterminate a race. What I think they're doing is a siege, like how they've always done sieges back in the medieval times on castles. They're trying to make it so intolerable to live in this area that they all quit and they surrender.
Right.
That's what I think they're actually doing, and that's causing a genocide.
I agree, but I also think that I think that Israel, Israel, I think people within the Israeli government who are very religious, I think they want everyone to see the horrific things they are doing, and I think that they want the world to hate them, because if the whole world is against Israel, then this accelerates this end of times, and it accelerates,
How would that accelerate the end of times?
Because it would force the countries
to kill Israel,
to team up and go against Israel.
How's that? It's just going to kill themselves. It's not going to kill.
Well, Israel, I think, is going to find allies when this happens, and then it's just gonna. World War III is just gonna happen like that, and that's what's gonna happen. And it's going to be like Russia and China, and then it's gonna be Israel, and then it's gonna be fucking hell.
Their team versus the other team.
Yeah, and they're fine with teaming up with those people, but at the end, they're just gonna want to be alone. They're gonna want to be Israel against everyone, because that's how that's how the prophecy is. Yeah, and it's like, dude, why are you trying to make the end of the world happen? This sucks. But yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah. Did you know the majority of the population in Palestine is under 18?
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, that sucks. Well,
That's terrible.
I think that that actually helps Israel in their mission because it helps the hate for them continue. Because killing a child or harming a child in any way is the ultimate taboo in modern society. Around the world, it's pretty much agreed. Do anything to children, then you're the worst fucking thing to exist. You know? You're lower than dirt. So, I think they realize this and they think, oh, good. That's good. Because that makes a lot of people hate us a lot more and a lot faster. So that we can get this thing rolling, you know? And, yeah, it's...
I mean, the thing is, countries have done horrible things in the past. This isn't that much different than other countries doing horrible things.
Well, the reason I think this is so crazy is because, like I've told you before, like I mentioned earlier, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity all share this prophecy.
Yeah, but the prophecy isn't you make the world worse and then Jesus comes. The prophecy is Jesus comes and starts the end of the world.
Oh, really? Did you write the Bible?
Did you?
That's the thing. Anybody can read the Bible and interpret it however the fuck they want.
Yeah, but maybe.
So, I think that this idea of the end of times also exists in the idea of welcoming the end of times exists not only in Israel but in all of these religious factions, and I think it exists here in America among Christians. Yeah, because they believe it. They talk about it all the time in church and amongst themselves. I mean, they don't talk about it like, yay, good, the end of times are coming, let's speed that up. Like, they don't say that out loud specifically, word for word, but, it is a thing that they know is going to happen, and they definitely want it to happen, because guess what? They're Christians, so they think we are going to end up being the good guys, and Jesus is going to love us and want us to go to heaven, and, I mean...
Yeah, but a part of their message is that end of times stuff is bad.
Is it?
It's the end of times means chaos, right? It's bad things are happening.
So every religious person believes in the afterlife, right?
Okay.
So they think this life is not as important as the afterlife.
True.
As long as you prove during this life that you are loyal to Jesus or
True.
God or the Holy Trinity.
Yes. But the thing is, the things that happened in the end times are chaotic, right? And bad, right? On earth.
Are you asking my opinion?
Yes.
Or the opinion of the religious
opinion.
people? Yes, my opinion is that.
Okay, and there is also the things that are happening on earth near the end of times are bad things. Even they would say that. It is true.
Their interests converge. They are interested in the rapture. They
Listen
want
to what
the
I'm
rapture.
saying. Listen, those things are bad, right? The things near the end of times are bad. They would agree.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're causing bad things, you are not acting in accordance with your religion.
They don't think about it that deep.
Well, they do.
No, they do not.
It's their idea of if you act wrongly, you aren't a true Christian, or you aren't a true Jew, or you aren't a true Muslim. If you act that way, it doesn't matter what you believe. You aren't acting in accordance with. Like, if you just because you believe in Jesus doesn't mean you're acting as a Christian. If a true Christian would never commit a sin, they wouldn't want to commit a sin. They wouldn't want to do bad things, because if you believe in Jesus, you wouldn't believe those things are good.
Here's what I think. If you're a normal person, whatever that means, and you think normally, and you're not insane and have mental issues, and you are religious, there is a fine line in your level of religious devotion, where you are either you follow your religious texts so closely that you get to a point where it is impossible to deny certain contradictions or things that are difficult to accept or believe within your religion. Or you follow your religion as closely as you can, but at general distance to where you don't ever have to actually fully realize in your mind these contradictions or hypocrisies or paradoxes in your religious text, so that you can go about your life following your religion from a distance, not fully ingrained in it, but just enough to give yourself that peace of mind that you will hopefully die and go to heaven after this life. That's what I think. So anybody who's super religious and they'll die for their religion is like that, where they're just following it just enough, but not too much to be like, actually fully realize what they're believing and what they're doing. And then you have the insane people who are crazy, who just believe it and they're fully ingrained in it, and understand their hypocrisies or contradictions of the Bible. They just don't give a fuck, and they're just like, I'm gonna follow it. I have faith. I'm gonna die for this. I'm gonna die for God. There's a scripture in the Bible about God being a lion in a cave, and he's like injured or something like that, and all these hunters are outside with spears trying to get him, and you are a follower of God, and you're like a deer or a sheep or something like that, and you're like, I will die for this lion. I will lay down my life for him until the end. And it's like, that's how God wants every Christian to be, It's just like, oh my God, bro. Like,
beautiful.
That's beautiful. And shit, man. Like, whose else is? I mean,
So again, like they all religious people understand the concept of sin, right? That's a core concept to them. Sin equals bad, equals go to hell, equals your afterlife is bad forever. So don't do sin, right?
Honestly, not really.
Oh, okay.
Because they sin all the time, and they justify it using their own religious text.
Well, right, but they have to justify it. They have to figure out a way
they
to
have
justify
to do this mental, gymnastics to try and be like, okay, but God said this, but then he also said this, which contradicts that, and then he said this and this and this and this. So, boom, I'm right. And then it's just like, don't think about it anymore. That's how every fucking religious person is.
But they still have the concept of sin. It still exists.
Okay.
They still understand things are bad. And bad things are bad, and you don't do bad things. So, I would love to hear what type of ideas that they would have to think that, if I do bad things to accelerate the end of the world, how is that going to not come back on me? That should.
Well, I think so there needs to be a distinction. Yes, I think all these religions have converging interests, but they are not the same religions technically. They might be Abrahamic descent, but they are in the present day. They have many differences. And the religion in Israel, I think it's Judaism, right?
Yes.
So that's the primary religion, and so it. I think in Judaism, it's that there's a lot of weird stuff in Judaism. I think there's even after he was a public sexual offender, these people were still there's proof that these people were still associating themselves with him and were still hanging out with him. It's like, dude, like, why would you do that?
Because you're
a pedophile.
Yeah.
And
that's probably why.
I'm sure most of them are pedophiles, but I'm also sure that if you know anything about the CIA and the history of Jane Dulles, who ran the CIA for many decades, and his whole deal with blackmailing politicians and influential people, which I've mentioned to you before, but you said you didn't know anything about it, so But there's a book called The Dulles Brothers, which goes into a lot of this. But I wouldn't be surprised if there were a bunch of people who were not pedophiles at all, but Epstein got close to and put them into a situation where they're like, all right, you gotta fuck this little boy now, and we're gonna film it, and then we're gonna blackmail on you forever, and we're gonna control you, and whatever you do. So you gotta do that, or we'll kill you, or something like that.
But they weren't pedophiles, and you made them a pedophile.
Might have been a pedophile. I don't know.
This,
but I'm
the conspiracies are getting kind of
out
there.
Well, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, all this shit, this Epstein shit to begin with, from the beginning, it sounds like a fucking conspiracy. That if someone mentioned to you, like, 20 years ago, you'd be like, okay, crazy, get away from me. But it's confirmed. So it's like, okay, so what's really going on? Are we just all going to pretend like Epstein didn't exist and just go on our merry way? No, this shit needs to be investigated. People need to be held accountable, and all this shit needs to come out into the public. That's what needs to fucking happen. The Epstein files, all the information, all the black book, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that needs to be made public. And until it is, there's nothing we can do but speculate, unfortunately. So it's like, yeah, this is conspiratorial, but it's also like, kind of not, because it's like, well, what the fuck else is happening then? Nothing? They're just doing nothing?
Look, the president doesn't have the power to release the Epstein
files.
Oh, stop asking him. And also, it doesn't matter. And also, he can't do it, and you should not care about it.
And also, God chose him to be the president.
And
Jesus loves him.
And that letter came out with the picture Trump drew. So
that was so fucking...
Yeah.
Did you see the one where he was, like, laying on the chair with all the girls around him?
No.
Did you see that?
No.
It was, yeah, I'll show it to you later, but it was I just I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, but
that's really
sure
offensive to them.
Sure. Nothing else in this video is offensive to them. But yeah, that's what I grew up being told, and these people fucking believe it. You walk around, and you see them every day, and you talk to them, and it just seems like they're a normal person, and they believe that there's a fucking rapture coming, and they're gonna go to heaven, and you're gonna go to hell, and they don't care, and they think that that's good. And I honestly can't believe any person who is religious and believes hell exists and people are going to hell who don't believe in what they believe in are just fine with that. I can't even. That's like, that simple idea is like fucking crazy to me. That you could just be like, you're going to hell. All right, cool, man. And it's like, I know there's in the Bible it also says, as a servant of God, it is your duty to try and save people, and get them to believe what you believe, so they're in heaven. But I mean, if you're a religious person,
you need to be really aggressive.
As a religious person,
if you believe that stuff, you should be insanely aggressive.
They're willing to lay down their life for this shit, man.
Well, I'm saying you should be aggressive by getting people to not go to hell, right?
Well, that's the thing. That's kind of what they're doing right now.
Yeah, but look, that's the natural outcome.
If I believed that 100%, which I used to, I would go full force on it. I'd be like, dude, this is so important. You have no idea. Like, you gotta believe this.
Like,
it's life or death.
Like,
literally.
If you really think that, then how do you not obsess over that all the time?
And I think this is something that really, like, as many differences as liberals and conservatives have, or religious people and non-religious people, as many differences that they have, this is the main dividing line between them, is that we are willing to recognize and understand the perspective and agree with it too, but we don't believe it, so it's just something we don't have to worry about. They cannot wrap their heads around the fact that this is what we think. They think that we are instruments of Satan and sin, and that we are working in conjunction with him and sin to promote these sinful ideologies and ideas.
So I like to think about religions in an evolutionary way, because there's a reason why Christianity and the Abrahamic religions are still around now more than other religions. They're the ones that lasted, and other ones didn't last, and it has to do with it has to do with hell and those kind of scary thoughts, and it being so scary that if you don't believe it, then you could go to this horrifying place. And you know what a religious Christian will always advocate for if they ever are talking about atheism, they will say, you know what? Fine, be a Muslim, be a Jew, be whatever, but the worst thing you could be is an atheist. That is far worse than being a different religion, because at least if you're a Muslim or a Jew, you still believe in a God. But if you're an atheist, you're nothing. And I've started to realize the reason why they usually think that way, it makes sense, is because when you are really an atheist and you have actually completely lost faith in all of it, their power over you is zero. Yeah. They have lost absolutely any influence on you and what you do at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're a Muslim, hey, you know what? You're still going to do what the religion says. I can still protect. But if you're an atheist, you really, really don't believe in any of it, it's like, I have no influence over you. I can't influence you to think anything because you're not even starting at the same starting line. So I can't get you even close to my side because you won't even play the game.
Yeah, I was talking with some religious people at work recently, and they asked me about heaven and hell and if I believe in it. I was like, no. And they're like, oh, so then where do you go when you die? Like, so, and I said, so this is what I said. I said, so do you remember what it was like before you were born? And they're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, it's just like that. That's what it's doing. And like as soon as I said that, they were just like,
They've never heard that before.
I guess not. Like, what the fuck did you think?
That's the first time they've ever heard that.
Like oh my god!
Man, their mind just exploded. Like,
no,
oh
but they were surprised that I would believe that because they just think that's like a morbid, depressing idea. I guess.
So is having cancer. It doesn't mean.
So is going to hell. How about that?
So is other people going to hell.
Yeah, I guess, but
But just because cancer is a morbid thing doesn't mean you should not believe in it. Right.
I think the truth should just be recognized, no matter what kind of moral direction it may lean towards. It is the truth, and it should be known. That's it.
It's
so
more of a scientific question.
Sure. And I told him, like, look, man, I could be wrong. I don't know. The evidence points towards that. I don't see any other evidence. The lack of evidence is the evidence. You see? Now, if you find some different evidence, then we'll talk about it.
Right.
But I'm telling you right now, you're never gonna find any fucking evidence.
What they say about you after?
They said, yeah, they were just like so surprised. They were like, oh my god. They're like, that sounds horrible. And I was just like, well, I mean, if you think about it, before you were born, you weren't really happy or sad.
Yeah,
you weren't really anything.
It wasn't horrible.
It was kind of chill, honestly.
It just was not.
Honestly, it was way less stressful than this. I just woke up one day and I was like, wait, I gotta pay taxes?
It's like,
what?
Wow, I object to this. I didn't choose this.
And, yeah. Oh, and I did make that joke tonight. I said, and they were like, that's horrible. No, I know. What I said was, I was like, honestly, it was pretty chill, but like, and then I just woke up one day and I was like, shit, I gotta pay taxes? What the fuck? And they were like, okay, that's kind of funny.
They laughed at that. Okay, there you go. There you go.
And, yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, a religious person will always look at an atheist and say, I can't win with you because you don't even start playing the same game as us.
Yeah, it's like they think
start.
That I am trying to get them to be depressed about this idea that when you die, it's just like nothing, you know? That's what they think I'm trying to do. But I'm saying, I don't care what you think happens after death or what you believe, but, you know, the truth is the truth, and I'd rather you just kind of, you know, everybody knows the truth. That's what I think is, you know, share the knowledge. Knowledge all around for everybody.
Yeah, let's acknowledge this thing and try to not be afraid of it. How about that?
Sure, yeah.
Instead of being afraid of it.
I mean, you can be afraid of it, just recognize it as, you know, it is true. I mean, shit, it's kind of scary sometimes. I'll think about it and I was like, shit, I got like maybe 60 more years before that happens.
60. Jesus.
Well, how old am I?
Average age, I think the average death in America is like 65.
Oh, I thought it was around 80.
I don't think so.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, still. Anyways, but
oh my god, I'm gonna die.
It's like, yeah, I got like 60 more years. I think it's more like
30.
No, I think it's more like 59 years. Like, what? No.
Stop.
No.
Stop this now. It might be 80 though.
I think it's more like 59 years and 364 days.
Whoa.
What?
Not a day.
No.
Not a day.
That changes everything. It's it's like this is what these people think of when I'm trying to talk to them about this stuff and share my opinion and just be honest. Like they think that I'm trying to bring them down and depress them and Satan is working through me using me as a vehicle to make them, you know, be consumed by sin and stuff and into the darkness and all this blah 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 blah. And so that's why it's like so hard, because I remember when I was Christian, that's what I would think when people talk to me like this, you know? And it would be scary. It would be scary. And, you know, shit. It's scary. Like, I'll see religious people and I'm like, man, you look, I mean, you kind of look, like, hopeful. Like, a little bit. But it's also kind of like a childlike hope, you know? It's kind of like, it's just like me looking at their hope and I'm like, that's kind of like a depressing hope seeing you now and knowing that it's not going to turn out the way that you hope it does. And it's like, do I want to take that away from you? Or, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're kind of voting for my life to suck and everyone else who doesn't believe in religion. So maybe I should make you depressed.
When you think death is not really death and you think you're going to move on to somewhere else, you don't really have motivation to make this as good as it can be.
That's exactly it. Is death pretty much motivates anybody who's not religious. I think death is what motivates your morals. Death is horrible. Try and prevent anything that leads to death. They do not believe in death. It is called the second birth. That is what it is called. When you go to heaven, it is your second birth. Right now, we're in the womb, buddy.
In the womb. It's an interesting way to think, though.
We're chilling in the womb.
In the womb.
And we're not done yet. We're not done baking. And when we get to heaven, that's the second birth.
All they got to worry about is getting to heaven.
That's it.
And they don't have to worry about how they leave the planet afterwards.
They literally don't even, like, you know, thinking about future generations of their family being, you know, making sure that they're well off. Like, they wouldn't care about that. Like, I know, like, my mom, like, oh my God, bro, like, so much shit she believes is just like, oh God, it's so exhausting. But think about the fact that you believe this shit, and you believed it all my life growing up, and I didn't even, like, I just assumed you were a good person, and it's like, yeah. And, you know, just the rapture is really the main thing.
But again, that strength, that very intense fear of hell, combined with the very FOMO of heaven, you're afraid you're not going to get to experience what the best possible experience is. The FOMO of that.
It's like when you use up all of your PTO for the year for at work, and then you're like, and you want to take a day off. You're like, oh, I used up all my PTO. It's like you're thinking about on Earth. It's like, oh man, I got 2 more sins before I'm not allowed to go into heaven, man. Shit, I gotta be really careful these next few decades. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, I mean. Yeah,
but that fear of the hell and the FOMO of heaven is, I think, the real reason why these Abrahamic religions lasted longer than most other religions. Is because it is a more intense outcome of your death than most other religions have. Most other religions, oh, you get reincarnated. You'll be fine. It might be a bad reincarnated, but you'll figure it out later. Or you become Buddha or whatever. All of them are like, okay, well, no. Either the best possible thing happens when you die, or the worst possible thing happens when you die. Are you gonna risk not going to the best thing and going to the? That is far more aggressive than most religions do.
Well, this is why. Okay,
that's why it's still here.
The thing is, okay, so everything you said, and then so what that means is like religious people are not motivated by death. It does not affect them at all. The thought of death or dying. They do not care. They couldn't care less. Okay?
Well, they care about what happens after they die.
Sure, but they're hopeful that they'll get into heaven.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why they don't care about the end of the world happening. Because this is all worldly crap that's going on. As long as we speed up that rapture, we can just shoot up right there.
It's not that they don't care about the world ending. Once it happens, that's a good thing.
Exactly. So it's like,
but I would argue
converging interests.
You're not allowed to start it. That's the rule. You're not allowed to start it. You want it to start, but you're not allowed to start it.
They can't think about this stuff too hard, too much before they, realize the hypocrisies. So they just push it enough towards this, thing happening that they consider inevitable anyway, and they're like, it's gonna happen anyway. So if happening a little earlier than what was
You're saying they're like indirectly influencing it, so they're justifying it to themselves?
And I think indirectly
This is why I think it's not directly a conspiracy. Indirectly, all these religions around the world have the same converging interests. So indirectly, these conservatives, these Christian nationalists in America want the end of the world to happen and the rapture. The same with Israel, and they want to, I think, eventually one day return to Israel and fight alongside them as newborn Israelis. My mom, the Christians in America.
Okay.
My mom was very vocal about how she thought how sacred Israel was, and God said it was like the chosen land or whatever the fuck, and that no matter what, under any circumstance, should we work against Israel? Was basically her consensus, and it's like, oh, okay. It's a little random, but sure. And I think now I fully realize what she was talking about. It's like, oh, it's like this indirect kind of influence through religion to expedite the rapture and the end of the world. That if you have converging interests, you can work together indirectly for a common goal without ever even meeting each other or talking to each other or knowing each other exists. Like you are influencing this prophecy, pretty much. That's what it is. You're influencing it to take place.
But the idea is they do it indirectly, so that's a justification to themselves that they're not sinning.
Yeah. Bingo.
Maybe.
Yeah. And it's annoying because every week it's news World War III or whatever, and it's it's not gonna happen, But it's I don't know. I definitely think people around the world who are in power want it to happen, for that reason. I don't think
the Chinese are atheists, so
not the Chinese. I think what was I gonna say?
Russians are Christian, I think.
Yeah, they're Catholic.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Crap. Oh yeah, I think it's interesting too that they think Trump is so closely associated with Jesus, or he's chosen by Jesus, or not. I mean, the Holy Trinity. When I say Jesus, it's not Jesus, because Jesus is not around. He's the Son of God, so he's not. But he's also God manifested in human form. It's so confusing. Anyways. The Holy Trinity, Trump is so closely associated with the Holy Trinity, he's chosen by the Holy Trinity to be the leader. But in the prophecy, it says that the Antichrist is supposed to be running things when Jesus comes back. So I think it's so ironic that they think he's so...
That's a really big issue that I have with that whole concept, because they say the Antichrist will become in charge, and it'll be a very charismatic person that's doing good things.
Exactly, yeah.
So what you're telling me is we shouldn't trust people who are good and who become in charge?
Yeah.
So we should never want someone who's good to be in charge?
So
it's another sounds like the opposite.
Another thing about these religious people
you should want
being another thing about these religious people wanting the rapture to happen is, from a religious perspective, that's good. Rapture happens, all right, good. We can just get that over. We can go to heaven and just live the rest of eternity doing that, But from everyone else's perspectives, who's not crazy, we're trying to move the world forward and humanity and be productive and advance human technology and human philosophy and try and promote education and ethics and things like these do not matter at all, because all they want is the singular goal of this rapture, and none of that matters. None of that gets them closer to the rapture.
Yeah, when you think the world is ending, why would you want to help?
It does not say in the Bible that God made the earth in 7 days and then put humanity there, and then we're going to live out all of eternity and prosper and grow on earth. The end of the Bible is you get to the rapture, and then earth is just bye-bye.
If you
So conservative or any religious person really does not give a fuck what happens on Earth. It is all about the spiritual enlightening of, whatever that means. And yeah,
it's like if you're living in a building or a house, if you're living in a house and you think the house is going to be demolished, how are you going to treat that house? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to treat that house with maintenance? Are you going to try to maintain it?
Yeah.
Obviously not.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I'm really don't like religious people at all. I don't care if you're the nicest religious person in the world. I've met religious people in my life that have honestly been they're really good people, better people than I am, and it's still, you support this machine.
So yeah, I will.
Fuck you.
I think
I don't give a fuck.
I don't
give a fuck if you're arrogant either. It does not make me forgive you.
I think we should not write off all religious people as bad.
That's not what I'm trying to say, but I am saying they're retarded.
Well, I think there's lots of reasons why religious people believe in what they believe.
Okay.
I don't believe in it. I don't agree with it. I think I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be more constructive to everybody if we try to work with them rather than.
I'd be happy doing that.
Acting that way.
I'd be happy with that. I think freedom of beliefs and religion is good. I think more freedom to just express yourself and your own opinions. Whatever it be, whatever dumb shit you believe is great. But when it gets to this point where it's at today, it's just all right. What? Something's gotta be mine, man.
Well, we've been in worse times than this. But I think
maybe I'm just overreacting.
Well, I do think. Well, you live in these times, so it feels like it's ended.
Yeah.
Any era of anyone's existence of all time, they have felt like they are now living at the end of times. Whether it be right now, whether it be 100 years ago or 100 years ago before that, everyone thought they were experiencing the end of times. Always.
Fair.
Right. That is always the thing.
Fair.
So guess what? You're probably not gonna actually experience that end of times. And to really put it in perspective, really, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is pretty good historically what we're going through right now.
Yeah.
There are some it's the way I've said it before. It's like a bump on the overall stock market.
Explain what you said to me before about that to the camera.
Okay. So the way I try not to spiral down into going crazy and being concerned about all of the events that are happening in modern times is I really try to think of it in the perspective of all of history. I like to learn about history, and I like to think about how we were hunter and gatherers for 100,000 years, and we have only known how to write and record history for 10,000 years, and we've only actually been able to record on data actual events for a few hundred years. So if we want to really look at the timeline of humanity, it's been over 100,000 years, and humanity has gotten a lot better over 100,000 years. So much better, even compared to a couple hundred years ago. It's unbelievably better than it was back then. And it's only getting higher and higher, but it is also very common to have bumps along the road. So if you think about it, how you look at the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, and as the economy as a whole, the rule is on average, it goes up over a long period of time. That is true with the stock markets. That is also true with humanity's development as a whole. On average, it goes up over time. That doesn't mean every single day feels like a win. There have been lows in the stock market, but it comes back up again.
So let's go over some highlights of some of them lows.
So there's plenty of lows, I think we can all think of one that happened around 1930. That was one of the biggest
6 million
lows
right there.
That was one of the lowest lows. I think you could argue that was the lowest low in almost all of history. I think
the bubonic plague was pretty not great.
Yeah, but I mean, true. That wasn't even caused by humans, but yeah, that was another low. Pol Pot caused, I think, even more deaths than Hitler did in Vietnam. There were lots and Mao with his starvation and famine of China. There are lows, and these things are horrible and terrible, and they are the dips of the stock market of humanity. But those dips eventually recover. Over given enough time, humanity is very resilient, and they recover.
And after enough dips and enough recovery, and you zoom out and you look at the line,
it's an upward trend. We can be confident that it is an upward trend. Now, you could make the valid point that someone could always press the button. Someone could get a big red button, press it, whole world blows up for some reason, somehow. They could do that, and that would end the whole stock market. That would be the end for sure.
yeah.
But if we can avoid that one event, as long as not everyone dies, it will start trending back up again. It will trend up again. It might trend from a lower position, unfortunately, but the trend will continue back up because humanity is very resilient. And we're not resilient coincidentally. We are resilient because we are here because we're resilient. If we weren't resilient, humans wouldn't exist. We are here because we are resilient. We are the dominant species on Earth because of that. If we weren't that way, we wouldn't have been the dominant species in the first place. So this is a natural, and to be honest, I think this is a natural outcome of any intelligent species becoming this level of intelligent. We will naturally become more and more advanced and naturally group together with more and more power, and we've recognized that there's power in numbers. So there is an incentive to be cooperative with each other, and the more cooperative we are, the more powerful we will be. We'll outcompete uncooperative civilizations that don't have those values, and we will beat them and outcompete them, and they will be incorporated into the more cooperative society and benefit from it, and we will benefit from having them. And it's the natural order. It's just the natural way that I understand the world will continue functioning until we become an interplanetary species, and we'll continue going up until we hit some cap somewhere. I don't know where it could be.
And what I'd add to that is, you can probably predict that this lull will eventually...
Right now, I think we're in a lull.
We're in a lull.
I think America is in a little bit of a lull.
And you can predict that it will eventually get better. And
It'll get better.
It'll go up because of the evidence of the history that we've gone through and all of the lulls, and eventually,
This is by far not
Bouncing
the
back.
least. This is by far one of the. This is a very small lull. Let me say it like that, compared to other lulls.
I think people's
There's no genocide in America.
Well, I think people's opinion isn't that we're in a lull right now, generally, but that this has all the signs of leading to a big.
The lull has begun.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the lull. So I mean, what is the first year of his presidency, right? Right.
I mean, he was president before.
Oh, his second term.
Yeah.
I think his second term, he's definitely come out of the gates
with a
storming,
force.
like
You're
more
right.
so than his first. His first time, he was kind of like feeling around for what he could do here and there. But now he's just like.
I would honestly say the lull started in his first presidency.
Sure, you could say that.
But the other counter of him, hopefully it will go in the positive direction, is AI is like probably gonna boost American productivity more than any technology.
Well, we're in a competition with China right now with the AI development.
Yeah. And which is honestly,
competition is good.
It's good that there's competition because we will try to be. But you could also say it's bad. But that's beyond the point. The point is the AI is gonna be a bigger boost of productivity than almost any technology has ever been in all of history. So
AI president. Who even needs
AI for president? So that it very literally might lead us to a utopian outcome, might lead us to a dystopian outcome, but it's going to lead us somewhere, and it might be a very positive influence on the humanity charts.
This whole video has been made with AI, actually. Nothing we said is real. We aren't real people.
We should.
Don't try and look us up on the internet.
We could make the whole thing with AI.
You should.
So yeah, I think I don't think it is naive to say that whatever bad stuff we're going through right now, it will end and we will bounce back. And it will happen. It's not optimistic. It's just the facts of the matter of how humanity works. And really right now it's bad, but it's not that bad. It could be so much worse than it is. So let's all take a breath and realize this is not the end of the world. We are not living in the end times.
I don't think it's the end times now, and I don't think World War III is going to happen. But I think this is what motivating a lot of the stuff going on in the world is that.
Yeah. Well,
But
when you believe
I do not believe in the end of the world. I don't believe in the rapture, and I don't think World War III is going to happen soon. But I'm just saying people are trying to escalate tension. For that reason.
Even if it was World War III, right? Even if, let's really bring it there, if it's a nuclear Holocaust war,
I don't think, even if it's World War III, I don't think nukes are going to be
but let's say
in the equation at all.
Let's say it is. Nuclear, most horrible war you can imagine, millions and millions of people die, we'll bounce back. It's kind of stupid sounding, but we've gone through worse. No one wants to be in a perpetual war forever. It will be bounced back. Every apocalyptic movie is always showing the rebuilding. That is always the end of the apocalypse movie. Is oh shoot, we lost all our technology. Well, what do we do next? Start it back up again.
That's true.
Let's start the rebuilding process back. And guess what? It'll be way easier for them to start than we were having to start at square one back in 10,000 years ago.
We know a lot more now.
Yeah, even if you destroy all of the technology.
Literally, I think that's so funny because there's so much media that's dedicated to the idea of apocalypse and specifically surviving in an apocalyptic scenario. That we've never had a more prepared generation of human beings for some kind of apocalypse. It is literally a thought everyone thinks about all the time is the apocalypse. Because what are you going to do after that happens? We're going to do it once there's a civil war and we're all killing at each other's throats. Well, I got a plan, I'm going to do it. It's as any dumb fucking anybody on the street, they probably have their own plan for what's going to happen. It's so funny. But
doomsday preppers out there.
Yeah.
But no, if there are some really bad things that would happen if we couldn't access food for a long time. That could be really bad. Or if all electricity just stops right now, hundreds of thousands of people would probably die as a result. But we would adapt. And we would figure it out again. We would get electricity back on, and it would just go back. We would bring it back. It might take 100 years, but we would get back on track. And it's not optimism. It's not naivety. It is just how humans go. It can't go any other way. We're not trained to go down. We're trained to go up. We're trained to go against those adversities. So
it's also when we were talking about this before. It was that we got to the point in the conversation where I was like, yeah. So the evidence from all this, or the result from all this, is that you could almost say failure is not only ingrained in human nature, but the idea of failing to the point of almost having nothing and rebuilding and bouncing back even better from that point of failure.
It's ingrained in us.
It's how we evolved, and it's ingrained in us because we've evolved through that method.
Exactly.
Again and again and again.
It is us.
Yeah.
It's something that's intrinsically in us to do that.
No.
And to feel that way every single time. There's almost like fantasy about it. It's almost like, man, I wish I was in an apocalypse so I could rebuild my society. We want to do that more than anything.
Yeah.
And you could think of it, that's a good thing.
It's a positive way to look at it.
Yeah.
I gave the example when we were talking about this before, where it was the whole philosophy of exercise is to push your body or your muscle to the point of failure, to where you cannot do anything anymore. You can't move one more rep at all. Your body's failed to move this weight or do this thing, and then the recovery stage occurs, and you recover and you can bounce back even stronger, and your muscle is now larger and you can lift more and do more, and that's literally how our bodies have evolved to survive, and that's how human nature has evolved to survive. So isn't that but then we got to the point in the conversation where we were like, so it's almost like failure is the best way to
what's the word to innovate or to, I mean,
move quick and break things.
yeah.
You could argue, but I mean, yeah, like people have this idea of like, oh man, if I could wipe the whole slate clean and start new, it'd be so much better. I can make it so much better.
So if you think we're headed towards a lull right now out there, and you're watching this, you think we're headed to the beginning of a lull? That might be good, because that means we're gonna bounce back even better, baby.
This is a learning experience.
The next 100 years are gonna be lit.
Yeah, we'll come back. Don't
Dude,
worry. Don't
the
want to fall into the darkness.
the TikTok videos we're gonna make in 100 years are gonna be so funny.
Yeah. We always want to
better
go
than today. The memes? Oh man.
Just wait for the memes.
Yeah.
If you feel like it's gonna end, hold out for the memes.
Yeah.
They're gonna be great.
Yeah.
Just wait. It'll get better.
Have hope. The memes are coming.
The memes are gonna come.
Just hold out, and yeah, we'll take care of it.
Humanity is resilient.
That's probably the most positive thing I can give to the whole Trump presidency is the memes. Honestly, have never been better. They've been so funny.
This is the presidency of memes.
Yeah, especially since AI has been popping now. It's like the AI memes are so good.
That's all we needed.
Oh yeah, they're great. I mean, if we had a boring president who, cared about diplomacy and stuff.
Boring.
Loser.
What memes came out of Biden?
Yeah, Sleepy Joe. I mean, that was funny for like a week.
That was one meme.
Yeah, I'm surprised Trump doesn't sell more T-shirts with like memes and stuff. Like, he'd make more money. Like, right?
He sells. He just started like a crypto company.
Oh, I thought he did that like a while ago.
He like linked it with Truth Social.
I don't know.
I just got an email about it because I'm signed up for Truth Social, and they're like, "Oh, good news! Trump just started a crypto thing, and it's going to be linked to Truth Social."
Well, thank God.
Like, literally, like it was a couple weeks ago.
No.
Like, what? How could you be more of a shill or more of a grifter? Like, that is the move. Every grifter does is crypto, and of course he's going to get into it. It's like you couldn't be more blatant.
Well, good for him. I hope he finds success.
Yeah, no, if there's something that he could sell to make money, he'll do it. He sold like pieces of his clothes and stuff. He sold, what was it? The gifts? Not the gifts. When they were pictures and people were selling the pictures online. You know what I'm talking about? NFTs.
Oh.
He was selling NFTs. Yeah. Selling crypto. He's selling pieces of his clothes.
You know what?
He sells anything.
Yeah. I guess I just don't. I guess like his presidency just depresses me so much. I try to not like look at any of it as much as I can.
He will sell anything.
So I didn't know that, but yeah. All right. I think it's pretty good.
It's great.
Yeah. Go buy Trump's crypto. Yeah. Cover pretty much everything. Yeah. This has been your weekly news thing. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do with the jacket. I was like, this should be like a news thing, because like the whole Charlie Kirk thing. I was like, we're just reporting the news.
New Charlie Kirk.
We're just we could do that.
The new Charlie.
No, I'm serious. We could go to colleges and just film it and just be like, all right, let's talk to you. Like that costs no money.
You know, I'd be down for that.
That'd be.
We could go to SCAD.
Dude, I honestly think we should do it. And we just pretend to be super conservative.
That would be psychotic.
And just wear a Target shirt where it has a target on it.
Oh man.
And then
I regret doing that.
And I might just do that alone. That actually sounds super funny.
I'd be cool with you doing that.
Okay, alright. Anyway,
okay, challenge to the people. If anyone makes it to this far in the video, comment anything at all.
Comment your credit card number.
Any comment. One. I swear, just one comment. That's all we need.
Comment, like, subscribe, favorite, share.
Doesn't YouTube tell you if people make it this far in the video?
None that many people have been watching, so I guess...
it doesn't tell you what parts they're watching?
Oh, the analytics? I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, you should check it.
Probably.
Check
I don't know.
Because I know it shows you like the most viewed portions of the video.
Does the view, if you click on a video and it's like an hour long, you just watch it for like a second?
No, it doesn't count.
so how long do you have to watch it?
I don't know the answer to that.
So if it's like 5 minutes, if you watch it for 5 minutes and then you left the whole 55 minutes left video not watched, do you get paid for that view, or does the view matter how much the view watched of the
It depends on how much. Yeah. You don't get a full view from 1 second of the hour long.
If you watched 59 minutes and 59 seconds, then it's like...
You get paid for that much, I think.
So it's just the percentage of how much they
That's my guess, yeah.
That's probably true.
That makes the most sense, right? That's how make sure you get the eyeballs on the screen for that long.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
But also, if they're skipping the advertisements, then you don't get the revenue from that.
All right, that's it. We're gonna try and do something less depressing next video, I hope.
Another video review.
A what review?
I mean, movie review.
Idiot. Anyways.
Well, it is a video.
Yeah.
Movie is a video. I'm not an idiot.
Is it a video?
Is a movie a video or not? Yes or no?
Yeah, it is. I was just trying to...
It's just a video.
I just wanted to disagree so bad.
I know.
But is a video a movie?
Not necessarily.
I think it is.
Is a rectangle square?
Yeah. Is the rapture gonna happen? Yes.
Objectively.
Objectively speaking.
No, we should have a slogan at the end where you say like...
This is the slogan.
Now, but no, it's a word. You have to have a slogan. It's like, now objectively...
No.
We'll see you later or something.
It's like...
Objectively... You've been objectively filled in. Filled in DeFranco.
You beautiful bitches.
You beautiful
We'll
bitch.
steal... We should do... Every video we should steal someone else's. A different person's outro or something.
Well, if we ever actually get...
And get stuckmanized. Get objectified.
Objectified.
I like
That's
that.
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
We'll workshop it. Comment your favorite slogan.
No, yeah, but yeah, I think we can do one of these once a week. I think we can do that. I think we can. At least a movie review. Maybe not like a whole thing we're doing now, but yeah. Maybe if there's World War III breaks out, we can be like the commentators of that. That'd be cool.
I'd love that.
We can unite people and stuff. Anyway, so yeah.
Good to see you guys.
Wear your seatbelt and goodbye. All right.